Marley Gibson. I'm a young adult author, and I started writing hopefully for publication in 2001. I started writing romance novels. I wrote about 15 manuscripts before my Sorority 101 series sold in 2006.
And that was under a pen name?
That was under the pen name Kate Harmon, and the reason it's under a pen name is because the publisher, Penguin Putnam, it's their Puffin line, and the editors they came up with the idea, and they just wanted somebody to do like a write for hire for them. So I did that, I wrote that, and then I knew I had to sell something under my name.
So there you are out at this conference. You have your wonderful agent that you adore.
Yes. She's amazing.
You get off the plane and the word divining women is given to you.
My agent, in all her wisdom and awesomeness that is her, steps off a plane, talking a mile a minute, and says, I have the name for your next book title. It's Divining Women, go for it. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? And I went to, it was at the New England Romance Writers Conference, and I went to a session of the New England Ghost Project was doing on ghost hunting, and I was like, ooh, that kind of looks interesting. And they started talking about using divining rods and dowsing pendulums, and the words started clicking for me. I heard divining, and then I thought of divining women, and knowing I wanted to break into young adult because it was the really hot genre right then, I thought, ooh, I need to do something about teenage ghost hunters. And the whole idea for the book came to me in like half an hour, like a movie. I just saw the opening credits and the closing credits.
So you've made a mark as a writer, but in the meantime, because of the subject matter, you have gone out on actual investigations and risen to a very respected level within this community,
nice.
Right?
That's nice to know. Yeah, I mean, I go, I listen, I learn. I'd be stupid not to listen to John Zappas and Patrick Burns and Chris Fleming and Dave Schrader and Jason and Grant and everybody else that I've met who's just given so much of themselves to me and offered their advice and their wisdom and their time. And just like anything you do, you learn by doing it. And the more I do it, I feel like the better I get at it.
So how much was, say, at the beginning where you were doing it to become more experienced and credible as the writer writing about the subject versus now years later you're like, wait a minute, I am a ghost hunter?
Well, yeah, it has kind of taken that switch, because when I first started doing it, it's like, all right, you know what, I am a very anal, structured, everything I need to get it right type person. I like to research anything I'm writing, and it's kind of impossible to only write what you know, because each of us only knows so many things. I wrote one of my romance novels on
that's a whole other interview.
That's a whole other, well, that.
I want to know what you know about romance, but all right, let's stick with the second.
Well, no, I was going to say that I wrote it about two competing chefs, because I'm a big foodie myself. So I went to cooking classes, and I watched more TV and the cooking shows, because that's how I am to write these books. So I thought, well, if I'm going to be if I'm going to write about teenage ghost hunters, I need to go out and do this. I need to experience.
Because I can't be a teenager again.
Well, I can act like a 15-year-old any day of the week, and probably do. But so I did it in the beginning for research, and purely for the purpose of, okay, I want to make sure I get the equipment right and the terminology right, and I want to make sure that I explain to people that you don't sit in a room for 5 minutes and get 10 EVPs. You sit there for 3 hours or an hour and you get 5.
And what is an EVP?
An EVP is an electronic voice phenomenon, and it's a disembodied voice recording that you get on either a digital recorder, or you can sometimes get on your camera, your video camera.
But you walk around with one in your...
I do. Is that geeky? That's kind of geeky.
No, but we were walking over here and you're like, ooh, my EVP is calling.
And it turns itself on sometimes.
That's
I swear.
cool.
It's in my purse. It turns itself on sometimes. So.
And you don't question it anymore. Just like,
no. Okay. No. But as you said, now I do it because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy seeing my friends, and I want to do more and more. The more evidence I get, the more I want to get.
Are you more a ghost huntress, or are you more a writer? Or is it?
Oh, I'm more a writer. Yeah. I'd say 70% of me is a writer, 30% of me is a ghost huntress. I don't belong to any group or organization, because I feel like as somebody writing about it, I need to kind of stand back and see the big picture. So And I like to keep my options open as to what events I can go to and things like that. And everybody's just been so welcoming with the open arms and really supportive, and it's just amazing.
Now, you were saying that as genres, the vampire thing has sort of played itself out.
Well, you know, I keep hearing that, but then I get Publishers Weekly. They have this thing called lunch deals, and every day they send out the deals that agents turn in. There's a vampire book sold every day.
And you said the other thing is popular with teens right now is the werewolf
The
thing.
werewolves,
And
yes.
I'm wondering if it has something to do with how, the whole thing of now it's so cool to like denude yourself. You know, like real life teenagers who walk around with like no hair, so maybe they're,
You know,
you know,
I'm a child of the 80s. I had no internet, no computer, no cell phone. We, you know, wrote letters to each other and we lived across town from each other. I'm so old-fashioned, it's so ridiculous. But I love writing for teenagers in that I can work all these different tools of conversation and dialogue into the story. I have in Ghost Huntress the Guidance, which is book 2, I have her spirit guide manipulate her cell phone and send her text messages.
wow. Now, do you get messages from teens looking for advice? Or?
Not yet, because the books are just now coming out.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of teens that have their own blogs and do book reviews have just been coming in hordes saying, I want this book, I want to review it, and we've gotten tons of reviews. I've got 15 reviews on Amazon, and the book's not out till May 4th.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Last question: Would you talk about what you see as the creme de la creme of your psychic experiences so far?
Well, I'm not a psychic. I kind of
Right,
wish
well,
the ghost hunting experiences.
yeah.
Well, I captured an 18-minute video at Waverly Hills Sanitarium last July. That is a rubber ball moving around on its own, and it's not just moving back and forth. It rolls this way and it rolls this way, and it goes from one person to the next, and it gets pulled from people's hands, and it circles, and there's no breeze, there's no crooked floor, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And you felt a warm connection.
I felt quite a connection. I'm not a mother, but I am a very nurturing person, and I felt very protective, and I just felt my heart hurt. It was like, there is a little girl or a little boy here who has not been played with in a long time, and they want to play, and they want to play with me. And I sat there as long as they stayed with me. I sat there for over an hour until a bat flew in, and we all screamed because it scared the crap out of us. And I think we scared them off. But it really, my heart went out to them. I thought, you know what? Whether this is a spirit or even if it's not anything human, it reached out in kind of a loneliness that I really felt.
Well, maybe you should go back and read some of your books.
I am going
You
back.
can read the
I am going back May
6th
10th.
or something.
May
yeah.
10th, Dave Schrader's having another darkness event there at Waverly, and I will be on the 3rd floor seeing if Sally is there and if she wants to play again with me.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Go buy Ghost Huntress.